Welcome to CEO.CA, the leading community for investors in junior resource and venture stocks. My name is Amrit Gill, and today we're joined by Lauren Megaw and Jorge Ramiro from Reyna Silver. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So how has day one at PDAC been?
It's good. It's nice to see so many investors around, and just knowing that people still have interest in the sector, that's always very motivating.
And even seeming like a pickup in terms of like people talking and getting ready for drilling season, and that's always sort of the exciting part, the anticipation for what 2024 is going to bring, and that's really the fun part about PDAC in so many ways.
And we'll get right into that. But first, Jorge, as CEO, can you provide an overview of the company, an elevator pitch for our viewers?
Our company is a silver exploration company. We started with two assets that we got from Mag Silver. As part of the deal with Mag Silver, Peter Megaw, who's our chief technical advisor and also happens to be Lauren's father, has become our chief technical advisor as well. And we're now focused on two assets in Mexico, and this year primarily focused on two assets in Nevada. We do exploration, and we focus on district scale projects, so something that has size potential, and then silver that has high grade. And then we do something called ore systems approach to exploration, which is we explore each one of our projects in a comprehensive way, again, looking for something that has size and high grade potential.
And Lauren, as the investor relations lead, can you touch on your exploration strategy?
So as Jorge was saying, our goal is that ore systems approach. You're going for something that's high enough grade that it can make money when silver's at whatever your personal worst nightmare is. But simultaneously, it also has to be big enough that it can survive multiple market cycles. So those aren't exactly the easiest projects to be able to discover. So how do you set yourself up for success and put as many variables in your favor as possible? And so our thesis and philosophy that has been used by our technical team repeatedly for significant success in doing this is taking an ore systems approach. So looking at the full system, not getting too distracted by, oh, this shiny object or this shiny metal, or too focused on a particular piece, and instead looking at the whole. And by taking that more holistic, comprehensive approach, that has yielded significant results. And so now we're going to try that again here with Reyna Silver. And we've got 4 projects that we think have the potential for that high grade district scale. And now we're going to go see whether or not we can find them.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the Griffin project. Tell our audience what it is and just give us an overview of it.
So of the 4 projects that we have, this last year we acquired this thing called Griffin. And Griffin is right in the heart of Nevada. It's between the Battle Mountain Eureka Trend and the Carlin Trend. So you're in an area where the big gold mega districts are. So the focus there, historically, has been on the gold mineralization. But like I just said, we're focused on that ore systems approach, looking at the whole thing, right? And so our idea is, well, let's pay attention to the fact that Nevada is not the gold state. Nevada is the silver state. And one of the reasons it's the silver state is because of what we call carbonate replacement deposits, these big silver systems that we have there. So 72 kilometers to the south of us, there's a famous CRD district called the Eureka District. And north of us, you have the Railroad District and the Rain District, so these big CRD systems. And the cool thing about the relationship between Carlin deposits and CRD systems is that, well, it turns out that the same plumbing that you can use for a carbonate replacement deposit can also be used for a Carlin deposit. And what we see at Griffin is significant evidence of Carlin type gold mineralization, so big gold and silver all in the same thing. And so our idea is take that philosophy of the ore systems approach that has been developed in Mexico, particularly looking after and successfully finding large scale CRDs, take that expertise, go up to Mexico, look at this full system, and by understanding the deposit as a whole, that will allow us to understand both the silver aspects of the deposit as well as the gold parts. And so when you put that together, plus this thing has this crazy copper component to it too, It's wild. We obviously love it, and it's one of the reasons why, since we've acquired it, and we've been going through the amazing amount of data that came with the project, we got more and more excited about the potential at Griffin. And so that's why for 2024, we decided, you know what, we're going to focus on Griffin. We're going to go after these targets that are just yelling to like, hey, you've got to focus here. And so that's what we're going to do for this year.
And you recently upsized your private placements. Yes. How will that money be spent?
We're primarily going to be focusing, as Lauren said, in our Nevada project, Griffin. And we're going to do a drilling program. And that's going to be the main focus of our use of proceeds from these. Around, as you mentioned, we just announced an upsize to our financing. And we'll be focusing primarily on drilling and exploration at Griffin. And maybe just a quick note about our financing. It's obviously a time where it has not been the easiest for companies to raise money. And in our case, we had quite a healthy demand for our placement. And just a note that a lot of it came from existing shareholders who really have been with us from day one. Our company is 4 years old, and we have a lot of people who truly believe in our vision and have supported us through good markets and bad markets. And it just speaks, I think, to the quality of the projects and the quality of the technical team.
And lots to keep an eye on here, but what are some of the catalysts for 2024?
Well, for coming up here soon, so after PDAC, one of the cool things that we're doing at our Griffin project is it came with an incredible amount, came with 23 core holes that were preserved and taken care of by the underlying vendors that had the project. And because of that, that provides us with the opportunity to go and look at the core with new eyes. So old rocks, new eyes, let's take a look at it, see the pieces. So we'll be talking about what we see in there. We're also in the process of having an independent 43101 compliant technical report. So it's not a resource. What it is it's taking that 43101 format and it's allowing us to talk about the historic drilling and work that's been done there because it hasn't been in the public domain previously. And so putting those pieces together in such a way that we can talk and have ownership of that data and share with people more of why we're so excited about what Griffin represents. And then we'll be launching our drill program there this summer, and that will probably be the biggest catalyst of all for us.
And over to you, Jorge. What is your sector outlook for silver?
Look, we're all very hopeful about silver. There's, from one perspective, the price is one thing, but just in terms of silver, it's really a great commodity. All the applications for silver are increasing through EVs, through many different applications, investment. But really the philosophy of our company is we kind of try to tune out the silver price and then focus on looking for projects that have high grade silver, because once you have high grade and size, even if the projects, even if the price of silver is low, you can still make money. I think a great example of this is for those of you who follow Max Silver, which is a company that gave us our 2 original projects, and very much we're following the same philosophy. They just went into commercial production on a project that makes silver, I think, at $7 per ounce. So, silver prices can go up and down, but when you have that grade and size, you're always okay. So I think, personally, I think silver is a great commodity to be in, obviously for many reasons that people know. But there's one more thing that I will mention is, we are at a time where companies have had very little money to invest in exploration. The last 2 to 3 years, finally there was some money for silver exploration, and you did see some great work done by some of our peers. But relatively speaking, still very little. And the sector does need more projects like the ones we're exploring. So from that perspective, I would invite investors to look at that aspect because, at some point, we don't have enough silver projects to replace the ounces that are being produced. So from that perspective, I think something interesting for investors to look at.
Yeah, and just on that note, can we elaborate on some areas of differentiation for retail investors to understand?
I mean, I guess the big things that I would say is that, the philosophy behind Reyna Silver and the styles of projects we're going for. I mean, we're lucky yes, this year we're focusing on Griffin, but we have 4 projects that have that potential for big scale, high grade. So we're not in a binary situation. We don't make or break on one project. We've got multiple projects, and we're continuing to do the boring geology work, like boring to the normal people. I think it's fascinating. But to keep those projects moving forward so that way when things turn, we're ready for that. And then on top of that, these are the kind of projects that we've put together and that we've worked on where if we're right, these are the kind of things that, yes, they survive when prices are low, but when prices do shift and silver starts going, these are the kind of projects where generational money is made. And that's the kind of projects that we're focusing on. We're going for the things that really make make a difference in the market. And we're not here to play around. We're here to go big.
Is there anything else? Oh.
Yeah, if I may add one more thing is, we do think about the company from the perspective of, we do have a significant ownership as management and board in the company. And we will be participating in this financing that we're currently about to close in a meaningful way. So we do think about the company, from the perspective of trying to being aligned with investors. And as Lauren was mentioned, looking at making sure that the company has a well-balanced portfolio of assets so that we don't find ourselves in a binary outcome situation. And we do have a very nice diversification between Mexico and Nevada. This summer we will focus on Nevada, but Mexico does allow you the possibility of, Nevada does have a seasonality to exploration. So, if we're in a situation where we want to keep working year-round, Mexico does allow you to have exploration year-round. So we've made sure to put the company in a situation where, we make sure we isolate it from the variables that come from the volatile markets that we've been experiencing now for a number of months, or actually a couple of years.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our viewers at CEO.CA?
Well, if people have any questions, comments, jokes that they want to share with us, we're more than happy to answer emails or and introduce people properly to the Reyna Silver story. We're happy to talk about it. We've only got a short period of time here, but
maybe one last thing also, we do take a lot of care to communicate on a daily basis through social media, try to in a sense give a play-by-play of what we're doing. So if people want to, if you're an investor already in the company and you want to learn more in depth about our projects, we have a few very good videos that explain each one of our projects. And then we try to give, obviously, our big press releases, but on a daily basis, just keeping investors informed. So I would recommend that for those of you who are shareholders or thinking about becoming a shareholder, to follow us on our social media channels.
Thank you so much for your time today.
thank you.
Thank you.